Today, we're going to be talking about some steps to kind of get your final expense business up and running. This is something that people all the time, that brand new agents that get contracted, they're always wondering, okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? And I mean, we teach them, the basics of how to get into the agent portal, how to run a web app, how to order supplies. That's all fine and dandy, but I think at the end of the day, what agents really care about is what's the next step that I need to take to get out there and make some money. Because that's, we're all in this to earn a living and to make some money. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over today. Just some necessary steps I feel to assure that you have a long-term career in the business. I know I talked about that a few weeks ago, just like 25 different steps. If you haven't seen it, go back. I loaded it on YouTube. It's been on there for a few weeks. 25 steps to assure a long-term successful career. But today we're just kind of break it down as far as like a daily or like a weekly plan of what you need to do when it comes to ordering leads, how many leads to order, how often to order. From there, what you do with the leads when you get them. And we're going to lead into our door knocking approach. And then maybe next week we'll go through the presentation. And so then you'll know what to do once you get in the house. So, and for additional training, check out my website, adambrsan.com/training. A lot of good stuff on there. Step-by-step training. This is actually one of the videos that I have on my training website. So this is kind of more of an update today, but yeah, you can get on there. I mean, beginning to end, from the time you get contracted, you can watch a video that talks about the benefits of doing business with us, all the way down to a presentation that works, that can help you make more sales. So you can get on there. Like I said, there's a presentation. You can download a PDF presentation. We also have the final expense playbook that me and a few of our other managers had compiled. And there's other scripts on there as well. There's medication guides and rate sheets on there. And then you can also subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/c/Adam Brsan. And feel free to stop me as I go. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. So as I mentioned, we're just going to talk about the steps to kind of get your business up and running. This is good for a new agent. Could also be good for someone who's been sitting on the sidelines for a while. Maybe someone who, COVID, I know, kind of set people back a little bit. People maybe a little bit afraid of going out in the field and seeing people. I had plenty of agents, even including myself, that I never really let the whole COVID thing affect my work ethic or the fact that I was going to go out and see people, because I knew people needed my help. This was something that was on people's minds, probably even more during the mix, the biggest, when COVID was like a high. But anyways, I understand the reasoning behind a lot of agents maybe being a little bit hesitant of going out and seeing people. But at the end of the day, I knew too that a lot of people needed to still go out and make money. So, but we're going to talk about that, getting your business up and running, ordering leads, how often to order, when to order, what to order, and how to work those leads. And what I feel is the best way to work leads. And then preparing to present, what we need to do to kind of get ready to sit down and go through a presentation. And I know I talked about this a few weeks ago too, that I think structure is important. I think it's not good to just go into a house and wing it. I understand your prospect doesn't know the presentation, but at least if you have some structure, you're going to get to the point where you have a very solid presentation and it doesn't sound like you're just reading a script. It's going to be smooth. It's going to sound like you're just talking, and the longer you do it, the better you're going to get at it and the more knowledgeable you're going to get in the business. So, one thing that we do have going is our lead program. And that's one of the biggest things that attracted me to SNL. What is it, about 7 years ago now? I heard about the lead program. The company that I was with prior, I was paying full price for leads. I mean, the last year I was there, I spent over $50,000 in leads, which, yeah, it was a lot of money, but I also wrote a lot of premium and, made some good commissions, but still, I mean, I heard about SNL with their lead program and the fact that they were willing to cover half the cost of the leads. To me, it was a no brainer. That was going to put me in front of more people, give me the ability to spend less money on leads if I really wanted to, or I could keep spending the same amount of money, but just have more people to see, which would mean that I would be more profitable because I'd be making more sales. So, I'm sorry, give me 1 second here. So bottom line with this lead program, we are willing to invest money into leads for you as long as you're willing to invest in yourself. And this is the sort of business where it takes money to make money. There's really no way around it. I mean, yeah, we do have a career platform, but even with that, there's still going to be some investment on your side, and you got to be willing to bet on yourself. And as long as you're willing to bet on yourself and you know that you're going to get out there and make sales off of those leads, you can't let that fear of spending money get in the way. That's just how it works. It takes money to make money, but you should be able to make a whole lot more than what you're putting into it. So, but the way that the lead program works, you receive a 10% bonus over and above your commission that we pay out in lead credit. And it's like it says right here, it's a bonus. We're not taxing you on the lead credit. It's a bonus. It adds some points to your commission, really, because you're not getting taxed on that benefit. As long as you're utilizing it and you're using it, you're going to be able to, like I mentioned, you're going to be able to order more leads and see more people. And lead credit, it can be used to pay for up to half the cost of your leads. And again, that's the way that I looked at it for a long time, was that now I don't have to spend $50,000 a year on leads. It'll only cost me $25,000 for the same amount of leads. But then I broke it down and I realized, well, what if I just kept investing the same amount of money into my leads, but now I got a company behind me that's going to back me and invest in me too. And in the end, double production. Rather than 20 leads every week, then you have 40 leads to work every week. It puts you in front of more people, which just gives you the opportunity and the ability to make more money. So, and that's kind of what it just says here. You can double your production and activity. Lead credit gives you the ability to spend the same amount of money on leads as you're used to, but now you'll have twice as many people to contact because we match whatever you are willing to pay, as long as you have enough lead credit earned. And this does apply to career and independent agents, the lead program. Thank you. Yeah. And you know what? That's another thing too. I wanted to bring that up. Thank you for bringing that up. There's a misconception that we are a captive company now, and that is not the case. We have two sides. We have career agents that are strictly focused on writing with SNL. That plan, that side does have lead credit and also lead financing. But we have plenty of independent agents that are writing business with us, and we're welcoming more and more independent agents every day. So our independent side is not going anywhere. We just put together the career side because we knew that there's a lot of agents out there that need help when it comes to getting started and helping to pay for leads. Usually when people are looking for new opportunities, it's because they're not making a lot of money where they're currently at. They might not have much to get going. So that's really all it is. I mean, the career side, we're going to front you some leads, and that's really it. So like I said, we're not captive. We're not going captive. The career side is just maybe an extra step to help an agent to put some leads in their hands. And underwriting is a little bit different. Rates are a little bit different, but feel free to contact me later if you have any additional questions pertaining to the differences between the career and the independent. So you receive lead credit on every single piece of business that you write. Lead credit does not expire. Once you get it, it's yours. But I mean, it's not really there to collect. It's there to use. You want to make sure you're using that lead credit. And that's why we cap you at $4,000 in lead credit. All that means is that if you're earning lead credit and you're not using it, well, once it hits 4,000, you're not going to get any more lead credit on the business that you're writing. The purpose of the lead credit is to use it. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to use it. I mean, especially these days, leads are not cheap anywhere you go. I mean, if you got money sitting here in an account, you might as well use it. And lead credit also does not charge back. We used to charge back lead credit. It just made things confusing and difficult, and made it where you had to write a lot more business and able to even earn additional lead credits. So we just decided to do away with that a few years ago. But it does take 14 days from the day that a policy is activated to receive lead credit. Now, the reason that's important is that you just need to know going in, well, it's going to take a couple of weeks. The reason we do that is because we don't want to pay lead credit on a policy that NSFs. What that means, that first month's premium didn't go through. It came back insufficient funds. We just don't want to pay lead credit on business that never actually existed. So that's why we wait 2 weeks before you see that lead credit roll into your lead account. And you do have to produce at least one application over the last 30 days in order to use a lead credit. I mean, we want agents producing. I mean, that's the purpose of us providing that tool, is for agents to be able to consistently produce and have, or at least have that ability to be able to consistently produce a little bit easier. So that's what it's for. It's not, like I said, it's not there to just collect and let it sit. It's to use it. So as long as you're using it, I would assume you're going to have leads coming in and you're going to be writing business. So this one application over the last 30 days should really be a non-issue. And you do have to maintain 70% or greater first year persistency. If you're consistently writing business, especially out in the field, I don't see any reason why your persistency should be anywhere near 70%. Our rates are very competitive. It's very difficult for people to come in behind us and replace us. So yeah, I mean, I think that I have seen some telesales agents where they drop under 70. You know, there's more relationship building, or you really have to try hard to build that relationship over the phone. Sometimes people hang up that phone and they just have buyer's remorse. And unfortunately, the less business sticks over the phone historically. So, but you know, you want to try to, at least if you're in telesales, do what you can to build a solid relationship as much as you can. I mean, not everything's going to stick, but the harder you try at building that relationship, if you don't feel good when you hang up the phone, I mean, there's a good chance that policy might fall off. If I don't feel good after I close the sale over the phone, I might call the company and tell them to pay me as earned on it. I mean, you want to have a good feeling when that client hangs up the phone that you wrote a pretty solid sale over the phone. Check credit on SNL's website. So there's a tab where you can check your lead credit. You can see what's available and you can see if you're eligible to use it. And then you can contact the lead vendors directly. And that would be for independent for the most part, but I would say also career agents. If there's not enough leads in inventory, you can always order your own leads. You can always contact a lead vendor yourself and place those lead orders. No problem. And you can still use your lead credit to cover half. You want to let them know that you're an SNL agent. I mean, if you don't let the lead vendor know that you're an SNL agent, how are they going to know? And they would just charge you full price for the leads. So make sure to let them know that you're an SNL agent and that you do have lead credit, and make sure that it's enough to cover half, or let them know how much you have and let them know how much you will be paying. If your portion is more than 50%, just let them know how much is going to be applied in lead credit. And then that way they can bill you correctly for the other half. And new agents who don't have persistency yet, it might look like on the website that you cannot use your lead credit, but that's not the case. You can use your lead credit. That's no problem. One other thing I wanted to bring up, give me 1 second here. There's another slide I wanted to throw on here. Hold on. All right, the Fast Start program. I just wanted to bring this up real quick too, because this is something also for brand new agents that are just getting going. that can definitely help put some more lead credit in your hands quickly. And again, I mean, it's designed to kind of front load you with a lot of lead credit. And the more we can help you at the beginning, it'll get to the point where you'll never have to worry about paying more than half the cost for your leads. Someone asked if lead credit can only be used with S&L approved vendors. And yes, that is the case. I will be going through those vendors shortly. So the first achievement, and that's, another thing, agents, whether you're career or independent, and like I said, a lot of times when people are coming from situations where they're not successful, they don't have a lot of money, and they just don't have a lot to get started. I think if you're motivated, you can figure out a way to write one application, regardless of what your income is. If you don't have money for leads, well, I mean, I was there. I was there when I was 22 years old. I mean, I had no money. I just got in the business. I was overfinanced on leads. My company wouldn't send me any more leads. I went out and found the neighborhood and just started knocking doors. I mean, I could have quit this business almost 20 years ago. I stuck with it. But, yeah, I've gone through those types of days. So I know, but I was motivated. That's all it takes. You got to be motivated to get out there and do it. And you'll figure out a way to make it happen. If that means you got to pick out a neighborhood that maybe it's a neighborhood that's maybe more considered like a middle to low income, I'd recommend a neighborhood where the houses are very close together. Do a little 30-second commercial at the door. Go up and down the street all day, especially in the summertime when it's nice out. Why not? But figure out a way, even Facebook. I mean, heck, I'm sure most people here on this call are probably on Facebook. Put something on your Facebook about what you do. Don't be embarrassed about what you do. There's probably people you're friends with that could use your help. So put it out there. Let people know what you do. Like I said, you're motivated enough, you'll figure out a way to write that one app regardless. But that's all it takes. You write one app in your first 2 weeks. Well, what's that going to give you? That's going to earn you a commission. That's also going to earn you lead credit on the piece of business that you wrote. And we're going to pay you another $250 in lead credit. And we'll also give you an S&L golf shirt to make you look good while you're out in the field. Second achievement, your first 30 days, $3,500 in premium over your first 30 days. To me, I mean, that's nothing. You could be doing that every week, really, as long as you have enough leads. So all we're asking is for you to hit that your first 30 days. And, well, same thing. You earned lead credit. You earned additional lead credit, $250 in lead credit, and you earned a nice little S&L portfolio. That's what I use out in the field. My iPad fits in there, a notepad, some brochures, my business cards. I mean, everything that you need is right there. Simple, easy. You don't need to walk up to the house with a briefcase with, where it looks like you're spending the weekend there. The third achievement, $7,000 over your first 60 days. I mean, you're getting awarded or rewarded for writing $7,000 in 60 days. Everybody should be doing this. So same thing, $250 in lead credit addition. We'll also send you a nice little S&L laptop bag. And remember, bare minimum, you hit that $7,000 in your first 60 days. You're going to earn a 10% lead credit on that $7,000. So that's $700 in lead credit plus $750 in lead credit. That's $1,450 in free leads, as long as you're willing to invest in yourself. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know another place that's doing anything like that, that's going to put that kind of money in your pocket without you taking a big cut in your commission. So pretty good benefit here to take advantage of. And like I said, we front load you a lot of that money so you can get rolling on placing these lead orders. So, and I'm going to kind of show you from there what to do and what kind of leads to order here in a minute here. So we just went through all this, so I'm going to move ahead. Somebody asked about approved lead vendors. So I have a list here of our approved lead vendors for direct mail. Now, direct mail to me is the best lead that you can get, if you can get it. Returns have been down. Prices for direct mail have gone up. And that's why I think you need a lead with direct mail, but I think that you do need some sort of filler lead to kind of fill in the gaps, especially if you have a slow week, if you're not getting the types of returns that you need, and you need a filler lead that you can get quickly. Because if you're leading with direct mail and you're waiting for leads to come in and you just don't have a lot to work, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit around all day doing nothing? Or are you going to figure out a way to get out there and see some people? So that's where the filler lead, which I think would be like a digital SEO lead, would be a good filler. And we'll be talking about that in a second here. But the direct mail vendors that we have, and I didn't list the prices because their prices just keep changing. All of them are around $500 per thousand. And I mean, prices just continue to go up because postage prices continue to go up. So Lead Connections, Need a Lead, Lead Concepts, and RGI are 4 direct mail preferred vendors. I did list that Need a Lead does have a fixed price per lead, and it's $40 per lead in most states. I mean, when I started, Need a Lead was down to like $29 a lead. They're up to 40 a lead. So that just shows, I mean, returns are down. Need a Lead, they need to be profitable too. And that's why the price of those leads are what they are at $40 a lead. So you could either do a 1,000-piece mailer through any of these vendors, or you could do a fixed price per lead through Need a Lead. And really, I mean, I like the fixed price just so I know or have a good idea of what to expect to come back in, where I kind of feel like when you're doing a 1,000-piece mailer or however many pieces you want to mail out, that you're the one who's kind of taking the gamble because you just don't really know what could come back. I had an agent a few weeks ago that ordered like 2,000 mailing pieces and he got back like 8 leads. So he would have been better off to do the $40 a lead. He would have come out much further ahead. So now I would recommend, though, if you're new, look these vendors up. I would even get on the phone and maybe call them. And remember, these are like your business partners. These are people that are going to be, you're going to be working with, that are going to help you generate the most important part of your business, your leads. So I would call them, kind of feel the people out, see who you feel maybe you connect with the best, and start placing lead orders. I mean, they're all good vendors. Lead Connections, very good. Lead Concepts, Need a Lead. RGI too. RGI is a very good list company. And I've never personally have worked RGI leads, but I've heard nothing but good things about them. So, they are a good vendor that I know they have a few different lead pieces to choose from. The only issue I have seen with RGI is that they do lock in territory, where if there's already somebody ordering in the area that you want, they do lock that territory up for a certain amount of time. And where then you may not be able to order there until that other person quits ordering, and they might never quit ordering. So that's, I'd say maybe Need a Lead if you want the fixed price. Maybe reach out to RGI and see what they have available in the areas that you'd want to work, and maybe try them first and see how they are, and then kind of go from there. And then we have digital SEO leads. Now, if you're a career agent, you can order the digital SEO leads right off of our website. You log in, you can even finance them if you need to. You log in, you place your lead order, you put the county that you want to order, and or you can list like a handful of zip codes, as long as the population, I believe it's like over 250,000. So you do want to provide them with a lot of area, because otherwise they're not going to be able to generate the number of leads that you need. It is a minimum order of 40. So you do have to order 40 leads. And anyways, the digital SEO leads. Now for independent agents, this is a vendor that I know of who does these leads. They're fairly reasonable. They're called Consistent Leads. And I know one of my managers a few months back was really, before we had the digital leads in our career platform, he was working a lot of the Consistent Leads and having a lot of success with them. So I would recommend get on their website. You can place an order through them. They are not a approved vendor on the independent side, so you cannot use your lead credit, but they're only $11 a lead. So, that's really the biggest difference between direct mail and these digital leads, is that the price it's about a quarter of the price of a direct mail lead, but also the quality, well, it's probably about a quarter of the quality of a direct mail lead. You're not going to write as many digital leads as you are direct mail. Direct mail, they have the longest life to them. People are filling that card out. It's in their handwriting. When you go to the door and you have that lead in your hand, it's kind of hard for them to deny that they sent it in. And people that fill out direct mail lead pieces, they usually fill them out more than once. So just remember that they have the longest life. If you can't reach a direct mail lead and you keep trying and you just still can't reach them, I mean, you could try 6 months later and still take that same lead card up to the door and have a good chance that you're finally able to reach that person and getting in the house and making a sale. So the digital leads, they don't have nearly as long of a lifespan. The quality is nowhere near as good as a direct mail, but like I said, it's a quarter of the price. So it's a numbers game. The digital leads are going to put you in front of a heck of a lot more people for less money. I mean, 40 of these digital leads is $440, where we're talking about direct mail, $40 a piece. I mean, 20 leads is $800. 40 leads, it'd be $1,600. As I mentioned, it's about a quarter of the price. So you just need to know going in what to expect on these digital leads. And before I get to that, let me just kind of explain what a digital SEO lead is. What a digital SEO lead is, it's basically like SEO stands for search engine optimization. People are searching different terms in Google, and it's either leading them to an ad. Now, you might have seen this where you type something in Google, and like the first 3 things that pop up, they look like websites that you'd click, but they're actually ads. So that's one scenario where you type in a term and then ads pop up. One of them might be for final expense coverage, state approved final expense plans, and the people click the link and it might take them to a landing page where they type in their information and submit it requesting a quote. Another way is when they click on a website, when they do a Google search, it might take them to a website where then maybe on the right side of that website, there might be some ads where they click on one of those ads that's going to take them to a landing page. For instance, they might be searching for diabetic medical supplies, and they go to this page where they sell diabetic medical supplies, and on the right-hand side, they see an ad talking about a final expense burial plan, and they click it and they fill in their information. The nice thing about these digital leads is that there's no pre-populated information. We had done Facebook leads in the past where people would see an ad on Facebook and they would click it. All the information was pre-populated from what they had provided to Facebook. So their name, their phone number, their email address, they might have a new phone number now. They might have a new email address and they never updated it with Facebook. So you're not going to run into that with the digital. The people are actually taking the time to fill in their information, their name, their address, their phone number, their email address. I think they even ask who they want as their beneficiary. They might ask them what their favorite color is, just different things to trigger their memory. So when you get in touch with them, you can kind of bring those little things up. Well, you mentioned your favorite color was green. Oh yeah, I remember doing that. So, but the downside to the fact that they had to fill in all their information, a lot of times people think that they're going to get an instant quote online. So when they're filling in the information, they might fill in generic information just to get to the end where they think that they're going to get a quote. But what happens is it turns into a lead, and then that person needs to contact that person. So there are no refunds on these sort of leads. You just need to know kind of going in what to expect. And yes, and I like to be upfront with you about these sort of leads. And remember, they're a quarter of the price of a direct mail lead. You're going to run into people with bad addresses, with bad phone numbers. And unfortunately, you're just going to have to move on. But that's just kind of how it is. So I I think you should still be able to close at least 10% of them. So they are more work than direct mail. You got to get out there and you got to hit it hard, and you are going to face some rejection. But I just, like I said, I like to be upfront with people about that. You can't get discouraged. There are sales to be made in these leads. And usually the sales of the people that you do connect with, what we have found is that the premiums are actually usually pretty high. They're higher than direct mail. I would say probably closer to $1,000 annualized, where direct mail is probably closer to like around 700. So just keep that in mind. You know, the closing percentage isn't going to be nearly as good, but you're also paying a quarter of the price. And like I said, I think it's a good filler. I think that direct mail is the way to go for long-term success. But when you're having a slow return, you're not getting many leads in, well, then place an order for the SEO leads either through the agent portal if you're a career agent, or get in touch with Consistent Leads. Either place is $11 a lead. Career agents, you can use your lead credit and you can finance them. Independent, you're pretty much on your own. And then this is just an example, a few different lead pieces. This is one that Need a Lead uses. This is, and all direct mail leads are pretty standard. They talk about state regulated program to pay for final expenses. It's important that you know how to qualify for this life insurance benefit available to you. So they do mention final expenses. They do mention life insurance. And, you know, if you're doing a 1,000-piece mailer, it's really up to you what you want to put on there. Or I'm sorry, not what you want to put on there, but what type of lead piece that you want to order. I would say the more generic the lead piece, the higher the return you may get. So it's up to you if you want to focus more on quantity or if you want to focus on quality. Quality, you're going to be spending more money because usually less people are going to send those lead cards back. But the more generic, well, kind of like the SEO leads, you're going to get more people that don't really know exactly what they're doing, and they're just going to fill out information, not really knowing exactly what it's for. So, sorry, give me a second. All right, sorry about that. Lead concepts. Okay, this is an example of more like a more generic lead piece, and this is a lead piece that a lot of agents, maybe newer agents, steer away from because it offers a free Walmart gift card. It also does talk about final expenses. It does mention a life insurance plan, but the downside is that it does offer a free gift card, and it mentions it 3 times on the lead piece. So then you got to wonder, well, are the people filling the card out because they're looking for final expense coverage, or because they are looking for their free gift card? If you're good at what you do and you've done it for a while, I mean, I've worked these Walmart leads and I've done just fine on them. I kind of look at it, for me, it's a mindset thing. If you're going out there and if you're thinking that all they're going to be thinking about is that gift card, you're not going to get in many houses. But if you go out there and you treat the lead just like any other lead, I think you'll be just fine. When I go to the door in a lead like this, I don't bring up the Walmart gift card. If I don't bring it up, usually they're not even going to bring it up. So, and if they do, and they don't let me in the house, I usually just mention, well, you know what? That's part of our referral program. We've just found that there's a lot of people out there that need this sort of coverage, and they don't know who to turn to get it. So, I mean, if you could think of anybody that maybe could use coverage like this, and you want to provide me with some names, well, then I'll go see those people. And if I can help some people that you know, I'd be more than happy to to send you a gift card in the mail to thank you for you helping me. And that's kind of how I handle it, and usually works pretty well. So again, so much of this business is just mindset. And if you like I said, if you're out there and you're just like, oh God, they're not going to want to see me. It doesn't, or even a lead piece that doesn't say life insurance on it. Oh God, they're not going to want to talk to me. This lead doesn't say life insurance. Well, then they're not going to want to see you, because you're going to act differently when you go up to the door. Believe me, because I've been there. I started treating all leads the same. I got a lot better. So another lead concepts example. This is one that is more specific. And this is an excellent lead piece. The problem is, I mean, this is really a lead piece that's doing your job for you. And because of that, I mean, you're not going to get many back. It talks about really the things that we talk about in a presentation, the fact that Social Security, that death benefit 255 hasn't changed in years. And that's why you need this sort of coverage, because funerals now are costing on average at least $7,700. So fill this card out. So it's a great lead piece. I mean, it's straight and to the point, talks about final expense insurance. I wish more people would fill them out because these would be great leads. But I mean, if you're doing 1,000-piece mailer, you might only get a couple back, but those two could end up being at least 1 or 2 sales. I mean, I think you'll probably close at least half of these because the lead piece is so solid. So the 4 things that I feel are crucial to your success: money management. And again, it takes money to make money, regardless of if you are a career agent or independent. Remember, we're not a captive company. Just wanted to bring that up again. We have plenty of independent agents. And, but either way, money management, as I said, even if we're financing you leads, we might not have enough leads for you. If returns are low, it's good to have some money to get started. And you know what? Another thing too, I mean, I've seen agents that have come here from other companies where, they were doing well, but then kind of got to the point with other companies where they just, I don't know, they started failing. They came here and they wrote a bunch of business right out the gate, but then they weren't reinvesting that money into their business. They were taking those commissions and they were using 100% of their commissions to pay their bills and, I don't know, other stuff, but they weren't reinvesting into their business, and they didn't last long. So you just got to remember, and we're going to talk about that in this plan that I've kind of put together that can kind of help you stay organized a little bit when it comes to your lead orders. Consistently working leads. You can't take weeks off. I mean, you got to treat this like a career. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's all day, every day, really, in my mind. You got to do whatever you can to get in front of people. And there's people you're not going to be able to reach during the day. You're going to have to work at night. You're going to have to work on weekends. I know one of our agents in our one group, Travis's group out of Michigan. We had an agent that he was out all weekend this past weekend, writing business, running leads. And I think he wrote at least 2,000 in premium over the weekend. So you can write good business over the weekend. And I mean, you're going to catch a lot of people at home, people that are working during the week, people that you can't even catch at night. You get out there on a Saturday or a Sunday, and you just got to do whatever it takes by taking that little extra effort. I mean, this guy was out there all day on Saturday. I think he might have even been out yesterday. I mean, he made over $2,000 in commission. And some structure, learning a presentation. And we're going to get into that, like I said, next week. I think I'll kind of get into the presentation and just kind of having that structure. And work ethic. I said this a couple weeks ago. I mean, why even be on these training calls if you're not going to go out and implement these things? If you want to just sit around watching training all the time, wow, you're going to get really good. But what good is it if you're not going to go out and do it? Work ethic is the most important part of this whole thing. And if you're not willing to get out of bed in the morning and go out and see people and work, don't waste your time doing the rest of this. So money management, setting money aside is crucial if you want to have long-term success in the business. We got to have that constant flow of leads coming in to be successful. So what I recommend doing, and even if you're a career agent and we're financing you, I think it's probably good to set a goal to get to the point where we don't have to finance you, where you can start taking control of your business. So open up a separate bank account, call it your leads account, and transfer 20% of every commission deposit earned into that leads account like you never even saw it. And use the money in the leads account along with your lead credit to place a lead order every week. Now, 20%, you should probably have more than enough when you're also earning that lead credit. So, but keep putting money aside. And I don't care if you have bills. I get it. I have bills too. I also know that I got a business that I have to run. And if I don't set that money aside, it's going to be very difficult to continue running my business. So set money aside and live on less. Even if you got to pay less towards your bills every month, you got to set that money aside to be able to place those lead orders every week. So your first week, you got to remember, and it's not easy when you first start. It isn't. It takes money to make money, and you have to invest more of your own money the first few weeks. I mean, even if you got to open up another credit card, I mean, if you just don't have funds available, open up some credit, bet on yourself, know that those leads are going to convert and you're going to make some sales. And when you get paid, pay the leads off, rinse and repeat and do it over again. I mean, you can finance yourself. If you don't have money for leads, work your warm market. As I mentioned earlier, I mean, Facebook, everybody's got friends on Facebook. Let them know what you're doing. Talk to your friends. Church is a good place. Talk to people at church about it. And do whatever it takes. That's all. Figure out a way. Like I said earlier, if you're motivated, you're going to figure out a way to do whatever it takes to write that one app. That's all it takes. One app. You're going to earn that commission. You're going to earn the lead credit. You're going to earn the 250 and fast start bonuses. That's going to really help you get started. And again, you know, kind of broken record, and it's all because we need that constant flow of leads coming in to be successful. Plan to live on half. Why do I say plan to live on half? And I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Well, that 20% is going to go towards leads. Put 30% away for taxes. So live on half. And hopefully you're not going to owe 30% in taxes at the end of the year. But even if you do, that means you had a pretty good year. So make sure to, I would say, put 30% away for taxes. And if you don't owe 30, you know what? You're better off to owe less and have more sitting there than owe more than what you have ready to pay the IRS. I know from experience. It happened to me when I first started here, and I made a lot more money my first year than what I had anticipated. And I didn't plan ahead right. You know, I'm teaching you these things so you don't make the mistakes I made in the past. All right. I figured it out. So, you know, plan to live on half, 30% for taxes, 20% for leads. So your first 4 weeks, this is a path to consistent success. And this is what I recommend doing weeks 1 through 3. If you have to, like I said, if you got to open up credit, bet on yourself, knowing that you're going to be able to pay that off pretty quickly. I recommend to order 40 digital leads and 20 direct mail leads, or do at least a 1,500 piece lead drop. All right. So a 1,500 piece lead drop, that's probably going to cost you close to $700. I mean, it's up there. And those digital leads, I mean, you're talking $440 for 40 digital leads. So, and again, if this is something that's difficult to do, if you got to open up credit, I would do that. If you don't have good credit and you can't do that, I would at least try to order at least 40 digital leads. But the reason I recommend ordering both is because your order for the direct mail you're placing right now would be for week 4, because it's going to take at least 3 or 4 weeks for those direct mail leads to come in. So the digital leads are for right now to get out there and work and see people. The direct mail leads are for 4 or 5 weeks from now. And then any sales made, transfer 20% of your commissions earned into that separate bank account, your leads account for future lead orders. So after the first week, I think weeks 2 and 3 will even be easier. You're going to get those 40 leads coming in right away, those digital leads, and then you're going to earn those commissions. You're going to be able to place orders in week 2 and week 3, where it's not going to cost you over $1,000 to place 40 digital leads and 20 direct mail. So, and remember too, on the career side, you can finance those 40 digital leads. So if anything, you could finance the 40 digital. I'd also, though, recommend ordering your own direct mail, because career agents, we do bulk mail orders for career agents, but we are not able to place orders for a career agent, we're not able to place a bulk order for direct mail for you until you start to consistently produce. So it's kind of like take those 40 digital leads, get out there, write some business, show us what you're made of, do that for a few weeks. Once we see some premium coming in, well, then we feel a little bit more confident investing into you for the direct mail leads. And the reason we have that set that way is because, again, direct mail is not cheap. And, we charge our agents $40 a lead. We're paying more than that. We're paying close to $60 to $70 a lead because returns are not great. So it is quite an investment on the company side. So that's why, there is a little bit of criteria there before the company's willing to put that kind of money out there for an agent. We want to see that you mean business and that you're actually out there doing whatever it takes to make some sales, even if you got to grind it on those digital leads where the closing percentage isn't as great. I still think at least four sales out of 40. It cost you $400 for those leads, 3 sales. You're looking at profiting probably close to $1,800. So why not? But like I said, if you can't handle it, just maybe focus on the digital begin. If you can, I think you need to set yourself up for weeks 4 and on by ordering those direct mail as well. So that's weeks 1 through 3. All right. Week 1, like I said, week 2, week 3, I think the expense is going to be less because you would have the lead credit earned, plus you would have commissions earned from sales made to make it easier to place those lead orders. And then week 4 and on, I recommend to just strictly focus on direct mail and just continuing to place those direct mail lead orders. Make that your main lead source. To me, the digital leads, yeah, you're going to convert, you're going to make sales, but I just kind of feel like time is money, and I'm more willing to pay for a lead where I can work 20 leads that are 2 minutes apart from one another, that I know I'm going to close more than 40 leads that are spread out all over the globe where it takes me forever to catch up with people. So yeah, you got to grind it a little bit when you first start to do that and make those sales, but make it easier on yourself after that. I think focus on the direct mail. Yeah, it's more of an investment. Yeah, the leads cost more. And, but like I said, they're closer together. They have a longer life to them. And, in time, you're going to build up a pretty nice inventory of direct mail leads. You're not going to catch every single person you see the first week. There's going to be some carryover to the following week, to the week after that. So place those direct mail lead orders and be geographically smart too. Place them maybe in one zip code 1 week. If you used up that whole zip, then maybe place the next zip code over and so on and so on. So, but yeah, in my personal opinion, I think direct mail is the way to go. But to start, you got to grind it with those digital leads and make some sales, and it's going to get easier from there. Like I said, you just kind of got to go in knowing that, yeah, you're going to face some rejection. Yeah, you're going to have people slam doors in your face and tell you, I didn't fill anything out. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a lot easier with a direct mail lead piece when you can show it to them. But just, again, set the expectations for yourself and know that you should be able to close at least 10% of them. You're going to earn some commissions. You're going to earn some lead credit. From there, just use those digital leads as a filler and focus on the direct mail. And then continue placing direct mail lead orders. In time, it would be a good idea to increase those leads to 25 a week, to 30 a week. If you are ordering per lead, if you're ordering per 1,000, maybe move on to do maybe 2,000 a week or maybe 3,000 a week. Don't be afraid to invest more money because, again, the more you invest, the more you're going to get back. And then, as I mentioned, if direct mail leads are coming in slowly, I would recommend to supplement them with the digital SEO leads. So that's the one thing that I like about the digital SEO leads is that if you're waiting on direct mail and 5 leads come in, you could place an order for 40 SEO leads for that week. And usually by like the 2nd or 3rd day, you could place a lead order today. Probably by Wednesday, you're going to have those leads starting to come in. And you might have all 40 in by the end of the week. So it at least is a nice filler. Like I said, I mean, it's better than nothing. Do you want to sit around doing nothing? Or would you rather at least have people to go talk to give you opportunities to make some sales? And just continue transferring 20% of every commission you earn into that leads account. And you, like I said, then you have your lead credit set aside. You got your lead money set aside in your lead bank account. And even on the career side, I mean, heck, it could get to the point where you got more than enough sitting there. You can just start placing it yourself. And then you don't have to worry about paying us back for the leads. So just a few appointment setting tips once those leads start coming in. Now, if you know me, you know that I don't do this because I don't set up appointments. I like to just take the leads and put a route together, especially the direct mail. They're all so close together. I mean, I don't care if I got to drive 2 hours if I have 20 people to see. I mean, I'll spend all day out there seeing people. So, that's the nice thing about the direct mail. But if, again, work ethic is key. If you're the type of person that you cannot get out of your house unless you have an appointment set, well, then follow these steps and at least set up one appointment for 9 o'clock in the morning, because that'll get you out of your house. And then you'll have plenty of people to see while you're out there. So I'd recommend to use first names only. That's what I've done in the past when I have had to set up appointments, or if I've tried many times knocking and I just can't get the person to answer the door, then I'll call and use first names only. To me, it sounds less salesy. It sounds less telemarkety. And make calls every day, even on Sundays. You can set up your Monday. You call Sunday night. And I recommend a call from 8 to 9 o'clock at night. I wouldn't call any earlier. And, to me, I like to just do things a little bit different. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, that sounds like it might be kind of late to call. Well, I mean, to me, that's when people are just kind of sitting back, relaxing. Maybe they're watching TV. Maybe they're outside sitting out on the deck, whatever. It's a good time to call. And because I think there's a better chance that they're going to answer, because most salespeople, most telemarketers are not calling that time of night. So call. And also, like I said, they're kicking back at that time. Grandparents, a lot of them are watching their grandkids during the day. And it's difficult to get anything accomplished at that time. So 8 to 9 o'clock at night, I think is a great time to get on the phone, to call, to set up appointments. And work on setting up those appointments on the hour. I would say 10 o'clock all the way to 6 o'clock at night. The reason you can do that, the leads are relatively close together. And I'll set them on the hour. I don't care, even if I'm a little late, if I set up a 10 o'clock and an 11 o'clock, even if I'm a little late to that 11 o'clock, I'm fine with that, because if that 10 o'clock stands me up, I also might get there early to the 11 o'clock, and I'm going to show up early. That way I still have plenty of time to catch 12 o'clock. So that's just kind of how it works. You kind of have to know going in that not every single appointment you set is going to be there. You're going to have no-shows. So set them up on the hour. And I mean, you could even say, I'll get there sometime between 10 and 11 or 11 and 12, if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. Set that 1 hour window. And don't set up any appointments earlier than 10 a.m. for the next day unless the client must meet you earlier. And that's because you could always call leads while you are on your way to your first appointment, people that you were not able to reach at night. And you can call. And remember too, even if they don't give you the time of day over the phone, you could still show up at their house a couple days later, and they're not going to know that you're the person that they talked to on the phone. And there's a good chance you could still get in the house. So like I said, set up those calls at night, or set up the appointments at night. The next morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on your way to your first stop, you could call if you weren't able to reach those people during the day. And like I said, if you can't get anywhere with them, if they don't give you the time of day over the phone, a couple days later, stop on by, and they're not even going to realize that you're the same person that they hung up on. So the phone script that we use, and we're almost done. Again, we use first name. Hello, Mary. This is Adam, your benefit coordinator. You could say full name. This is Adam Brsan, your benefit coordinator, licensed with the state of Illinois. And I received the pink request card that you just sent in. And I just needed to verify what you wrote down, and I'll get you off the phone real quick. Okay. So I like this approach because it's not salesy at all. And it kind of brings their guard down right away where they don't feel like you're calling to sell them anything or you're trying to set up an appointment. All you are doing is bringing up the fact that they sent that card in and that you wanted to verify the information that they wrote down on it. Now, you put down that you're 65 years young. Is that correct? And I have your address as 1050 Park Lane. Is that still correct? Okay, great. I know that your phone number is 815-123-4567 because I'm speaking to you. And you can kind of laugh, and they might laugh too. Makes them feel maybe a little bit more comfortable. And then from there, then you can kind of move into the appointment. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow to go over your benefits, and I just need to see you. I just need to see if 10 a.m. works for you, and see what they say. Set up your first appointment if 10 a.m. will work. Okay, if it doesn't work, just say, okay, I also have an opening at 2:30 p.m. Is that better? If still no, have them tell you what time they will be available. Okay, great. It'll only take a few minutes to go over what you qualify for and take care of you. Is your address a house, apartment, or mobile home? What color is it? Any cars outside that will help me identify your house? Just the more information you have, the better. This even helps if they no-show you. You show up and they're not home. Well, at least you have that information then, and the color of their house. You even know a car would be outside if they're home. So that's going to make your job easier if they aren't home and you have to door knock that lead later. Just so you know, it's me. I'll have my state ID badge with me, and go through the playbook if you need to learn more about the badge. I think it's a good idea. I made one for myself. I printed a copy of my license, and I put a picture of myself next to it. And I wear like I put it around my neck, and we wear that. It works pretty well. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at what time again? And that's something that our manager Juan, I like how he does this, where he asks the question to them. I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at what time again? Make them say it, 2:30 p.m. That way they ingrain it in their mind what time that you're going to be there. And then just simply say, great, have a great day. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And if you can't get the appointment set, I'd say you don't got to keep trying and trying and trying. I would put that in your pile of leads to show up a couple days later. And they'll not even realize that you're the same person that they would not give the time of day to on the phone. So here's just a few tips to help make the most out of your time while you're out in the field, and how to prepare for when your leads start coming in. I'd recommend, and nowadays, you can buy these pretty cheap. And I know most phones you can do the GPS, but I like having a standalone GPS personally, just because to me, it just helps me stay organized. It helps me kind of stay focused, where my phone is ringing all day. I'm getting emails and notifications, and it's just, to me, it's a lot easier to stay focused by just having that standalone GPS. And because with a Garmin, it has the ability to put a route together. You want a newer model Garmin where it has an app on there that's called either Trip Planner or Routes, where you could plug in 50 leads and put a route together, and it'll optimize the order of those stops. And then you just hit start and you organize your leads, and you just go from one lead to the next, to the next, to the next. Now you can use your phone. Road Warrior is one app that I know will do what we need it to do. Another one is, let's see, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Hold on a minute. I'll give it to you. I actually used this other one the last time I was out running leads, and it was pretty helpful. It was called Circuit Route Planner. So yeah, Circuit, CIRCUIT Route Planner. what I liked about it, and Road Warrior might do the same thing, but I was able to like just hit the microphone on my phone, and I was able to just say the address. And when I was able to say the address, it would automatically load where I didn't have to like manually type that address in on my phone. So it just saved me a lot of time. I was able to optimize the order of the route. There was a monthly subscription for that, but who cares? It's a business expense, and it'll make your job and your life a lot easier. I mean, I remember when I first got in the business, I mean, GPSs were like not even a thing yet. I had a mapping program where I would be typing in addresses on my computer. It would put a route together, and I was printing out all these pages, and I was like following along. The problem was when that route was over, I mean, I couldn't put together another route. It was like, well, I didn't even know where I was at, and I would just have to go home. So, the technology these days just makes things so much easier. You finish your route by 2:00 in the afternoon. Well, you can put your leads back together, and you can do it again. So when the leads arrive, get on the Garmin or Road Warrior or any of these other apps that you can get through Google or Apple, and put a route together with all your leads. And again, through the different softwares, you can add multiple addresses, and you can optimize the order of your leads. And that's, like I said earlier, time is money. And that's something too, regardless of what type of leads you're working. But when you can optimize the order of your leads, it's going to put your leads in the fastest order. So the closest together from one lead to the next, and you're just going to get a lot more done throughout the day, rather than you just shuffling through your leads and looking at them and being like, well, that one looks like it might be the next one closest, or going on like Google Maps and trying to figure it out. I mean, that's just time consuming. It takes time, and time is money. So put the leads in the order. So once you optimize the order of your route, it's going to reorder your leads, and you'll be able to take the leads and you'll be able to put them in that specific order. And then just hit start on your GPS and get going with your route, and just hit one lead after the next. And that's the way I've been doing it for years. I mean, I like I said, I don't like setting up appointments. Half the time people will set up an appointment with you just so they know what time not to be home. I would rather just put a route together, go straight to the door. If I don't get anywhere at the door, even if they reject me at the door, right? Either way, they either reject me at the door or I'm just never able to reach them. Well, then I'll put that like in my pile of leads to try calling at night to try setting up appointments on. So if the lead isn't home, just make a note on it. The more information you get, the better. Like I said, even if there's like a gatekeeper, a family member at home, but the person that you need to see is not there, take notes, ask questions. What's usually the best time to get a hold of them? Are they home during the day? Are they home in the evening? Do they work during the day? Are evenings good? Are weekends good? What kind of car do they drive? I mean, the more information you can get out of that person at the door, well, the easier it's going to make your job, because now you got all those notes on the lead. And if they told me that they drive a red Jeep, well, then if I drive past and I don't see a red Jeep and I know that they're usually home around that time, well, if I got a lot of people to see, I might not stop, okay, because their car's not in the driveway. If I don't have many people to see, I might take the time to stop and knock on the door. But I mean, like I said, it's just gonna, the more information you can get, the easier it's gonna make your job. So once you've run through all your leads, put another route together. Like I said, I mean, you could put 20 leads in, and if you're not catching a lot of people at home, I mean, your route could be done by 2:00 in the afternoon. So put another route together. And then also you can put together your leads into 2 sections. If you talk to someone at the door and they say, well, they're not home during the day, usually after 5:00 is good, or on the weekend. Well, like I said, I use like a index card holder, and I'll separate my leads into daytime and then night and weekend. So then once I hit 5:00 at night, I'll pull all my night leads out and I'll put that route together. The people that I know I'm going to have a better chance of catching at night. And I'll save the AM leads for during the day until I know that the best time to reach them might be in the evening, if that makes sense to you. What do you wear? I mean, I don't even think I should have to bring this up, but business casual. Keep the client comfortable. Don't look intimidating. I think I think a polo shirt and slacks is just fine. I don't think you need to be wearing a suit and a tie or anything like that. To me, that could be a little intimidating at the door. So be comfortable. I mean, we have golf shirts that you can order on the website and the agent portal. I think they're like $20 a piece. That fast start, if you hit that fast start, that'll get you a golf shirt too in your first 2 weeks. So uh, that's all, like I said, comfortable slacks, a golf shirt. You don't need to be too fancy. What do you take up to the door? Anything you need to sell a policy? I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I can't even believe I need to bring that up, but I had a guy tell me once that he keeps his car on and leaves the door open and he goes up to the door. And to me, I don't know. I just don't see the point in that. The purpose of me going up to the door is to get in the house. And maybe it makes it look like you're just stopping by to say hello. But I mean, heck, I could see someone rather than let you in, they might say, sure, come on in. You go back to the car to turn your car off and they slam the door and they lock it. And then you're not going to get in the house. So, yeah, I don't see the point in that. Take whatever you need to make a sale up to the door. The purpose of walking up to the door is to get in the house. It's not to set up an appointment for later, because now they know who you are. You set up an appointment for later, they might not want to give you the time of day. They might not even let you in the house. So, do what you can to get in the house while you're there. And, if they're hesitant or if they just don't have time right then and there, I usually try for later that day. I'm not going to try for tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to be out here all day. You're going to be home around 3? All right, I'll try back then. Door knock approach. Hi, Mary. I'm Adam, your benefit coordinator with the state of Illinois, and I have your request card you sent in to us a little while back. You can point at the card, and I just have a little time before my next appointment. Takes about 10 minutes. Can I come in? Simple and easy. You don't got to get into too many specifics of why you're there at the door. The purpose is to get in the house. And they might ask you then what it's about. And then you can kind of explain a little bit. It's pertaining to your Social Security death benefit. You sent this card in, and I just need to see if this is something that you qualify for. And, see if you can get in the house. Some clients might still be apprehensive because of COVID. Do not make a big deal of it. Look for solutions. If they have time now, go back to your car and call them. And we've done that. We'll call them. We'll even, if we have to, conduct the appointment over the phone while we're sitting in their driveway. To me, I mean, right now, I have not run into that lately at all. People are more willing to talk. Masks really don't even seem to be as much of a concern anymore. So, but if it is, like I said, this is a solution. So then different presentations, materials. Again, I'd recommend to get over to adambrsan.com/training. You can download the presentation. You can print it out. You can put it on your iPad. You can go through that playbook. And again, there's a lot of good information there in the playbook that will help you once you're in the house. And we will go through that next week. We'll go through the presentation of kind of what we do once we get in the house. And I think it'll definitely help you. So I do have a couple questions here. Let's see. Someone said they ordered leads, but they don't have a lead card. Well, you might want to get back into Lead Hub, because the lead card, now you should be able to get in there. It'll say download attachment. As long as you go to download attachment, you can download the lead card. And, that's another thing too. I did send a lot of lead pieces out to agents over the last few weeks. And you want to be sure to be downloading the attachments. If you're not downloading the attachments, I had someone tell me that they had leads and there were no phone numbers. Well, all they were downloading was just the information in Lead Hub. You got to hit download attachment, because that attachment is going to get you the direct mail lead card that the person actually filled out. So you want to fill that, or you want to get that so you can show them the hard copy of the lead. Okay. So That's about all I have for today. Thanks again. I know we went a little bit over an hour. Thanks for hanging in there, though. I hope the information was useful to you, and I hope it'll help, especially you new agents, with putting a plan together to help get your business up and running and off on the right foot. So, additional training, check my site out, adambrsan.com/training. All of these trainings I put on YouTube, youtube.com/C/Adam Brsan. That'll get you to everything that we went through today. I should have this on there by later tonight. And thanks again. Feel free to reach out to me if you need anything. I hope you all have a great week. We are not even halfway through the month yet. Still plenty of time to get out there and see some people, make some money. And you career agents, remember, I sent an email out too last week. I am having a very important call on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central to go over some pretty exciting things we have going on the career side, things that are going to help you get more business issued, and actually some other things that are going to help you make some more money. So I will look forward to seeing you guys on that call Wednesday night. I will be sending that link out again, a reminder, probably either later today or tomorrow, but you're not going to want to miss this. I definitely recommend getting on there, all of you career agents, so you can learn about the things that we have going, the improvements that we've made. And like I said, things that'll help you get more business issued and help you make more money. So thanks again. Have a great week. Don't hesitate to reach out to me or any of our other members of our management team. We're all here to help you. We want to see you succeed, and go out there and hit it hard and have a great week. Thanks again.